Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about a flower that grows out in the wild here completely on its own. This is the morning glory. It's a rapid growing perennial climbing vine with different brightly colored bell shaped flowers. Over here, I've never seen anyone plant it voluntarily at this place or take care of it if it has grown on their land, and yet no place is escaped by it. so instead of removing or ignoring it, I want to look at what it's doing. In permaculture, one of the first things we do is observe. So, this video is really about observing this plant and understanding what roles it's already playing in this landscape. Morning glory is what you'd call a self-seeding plant. That just means it completes its life cycle, drops the seed, and then comes back without any help. In permaculture, this is part of natural regeneration, letting plants decide where they can survive long term. You'll notice this plant growing along edges, disturbed grounds, rocks, paths, or even wastelands. These are places where the soil isn't great and where humans usually don't intervene much. When a plant keeps on coming back like this again and again, it's a sign that that plant is well matched to the land. As this is completely a mountainous terrain, so all the soil here is shallow, rocky and compacted, which is not at all ideal for most garden plants. But this morning glory plant doesn't seem to mind that. It's totally cool with any type of terrain, any water conditions, any climate conditions as well. In permaculture, we often talk about pioneer plants. These are the plants that move into difficult areas first and make conditions better over time. And morning glory helps by covering bare ground, protecting soil from direct sun and rain, and reducing erosion on slopes. It's not improving the soil in a dramatic way per se, but it's stabilizing it, and that matters a lot in hilly regions. When we were kids, we used to blow this morning glory flower by pressing the buds in this way. It creates small pressure conditions and it blows up. It used to be so funny. This field over here, this belongs to a neighbor of ours who practices small-scale monoculture farming. This year it's been left to rest and replenish fertility, and all of this wild growth came up here just in one monsoon season. Can you believe it? This ability of this land to regenerate is one of the many reasons I value this region so much. I've lived in many parts of the country at different stages of my life. So coming back here has only made me value this land even more. Anyways, so coming back to this plant. This plant that you see here, this is a physalis. It's a kind of raspberry, as you can see them here, and it's self-seeded on this field during this year when this field was left for regenerating its fertility. And this is also a native plant here. These raspberries are edible, of course, to humans and to wildlife as well. Incredible, isn't it? And once this shrub dries off, this wood, its stems and all, it's very good for mulching the land. This is actually a very good plant for covering terraced slopes. Its roots provide great support to the soil to hold it together to prevent landslides. Another useful permaculture idea is low input systems. This simply means systems that don't need constant watering or fertilizers or regular human effort. And Morning Glory fits well here. Once it's established, it survives on rainfall alone, which we get only in the monsoon season, which lasts 4 to 5 weeks, and then some sporadic showers in winters. Otherwise, it's very common here not to get any rains for 5 to 6 months. But we get constant water supply from the natural water streams flowing down from the melting Himalayan glaciers. So the underground soil here never gets extremely dry, and that is why this state is in the middle of a thriving natural evergreen conifer forest. This Morning Glory plant, it doesn't require any ongoing maintenance. So from a sustainability point of view, plants like this reduce the amount of energy we put into the system, which is good because you can use that time and energy to take care of annual plants, for example, various edible vegetables and shrubs that grow annually or seasonally. Do you see these tiny lilac flowers behind this white purple glory? These tiny lilac flowers, these are, I think, a type of Lindernia flowers. These are actually very good to have in your land. It actually indicates that your soil is fertile. So I think my neighbor's plan is working to replenish this soil. And moreover, this Lindernia, it does not choke your plants, so you can actually grow it with your other crop plants and with your perennials and with your trees as well, because it does not hog away all the nutrients of the soil. Very good to have. Morning Glory flowers early in the day, which makes it useful for early pollinators, especially bees. In permaculture, we often design for support species. These are plants that don't feed us directly but support the plants that do by providing nectar, especially during cooler months or unpredictable weather. These giant-sized leaves that you see, this is a root vegetable called taro in English, and in Hindi it's called arbi, and in our local language Pahari it's called kachalu. And it has self-seeded here. I think last to last year they threw away some of the taro vegetable which they harvested, and this year it got planted by itself. So cool, no? This plant, Morning Glory, it supports pollinators that also visit food crops. So even though it's not a food plant in itself, it's still a part of the food system. One important permaculture idea is stacking functions. This just means a plant should ideally do more than one job. And Morning Glory does several things at once, such as attracts pollinators, it covers exposed soil, it grows in poor conditions, and it requires no maintenance or upkeep at all. And when a single plant performs several functions like this, it becomes very valuable in a resilient system. This butterfly is called plain tiger, and it's very common here actually. And these red flowers, these are red marigold flowers. So stunning, isn't it? Absolutely stunning. And all of it is self-seeded. Nothing has been grown by any human. And these tiny white flowers that you see, this is Tridax daisy, again a wild plant. Sometimes people don't like this because it has the tendency to become invasive, but it actually has anti-inflammatory properties. If you make a paste out of its leaves and apply it on your skin, it calms down your skin. Nice, no? See, every plant has some or the other, you see. So pretty. I've never had my own land because I've always lived in apartment type of buildings all throughout my life. And if I ever got my own land, I think I'll go completely mad because I want to grow so many things, not just food items, but I want to grow so many wild things also. I'll go absolutely mad with happiness if I ever got my own land. In regions like the Himalayan foothills over here, weather, soil, and terrain can be very unpredictable. These tall yellow flowers, these are mustard flowers. So gorgeous, isn't it? Plants that survive here often without help are important indicators. Morning Glory shows us what kind of plants can handle the slope and disturbance. It tells us which flowering times support insects locally and how nature fills empty spaces quickly. I think Morning Glory is a great value add, especially if you're looking for rewilding your land. It's a great addition. This plant is very conducive and very helpful for the growth of native flora and fauna over here and for the growth of native invertebrates. Instead of fighting these plants, permaculture encourages us to learn from them. In a food forest or permaculture garden, plants like morning glory can be allowed to grow intentionally. They work well on edges, fences, and less managed areas. Not every plant needs to be productive in a direct way. Some plants make the system stable and alive, and morning glory is one of those plants. In a food forest, plants like morning glory play an important role. They cover the soil, protect it from harsh sun and heavy rain, and help keep moisture in the ground. Their flowers support pollinators, their growth adds organic matter back into the system, and over time they help soften compacted land. When you work with them instead of against them, they become part of a living ecosystem that's slowly building fertility and resilience on its own. So, whether you're growing food or simply rewilding your land, I hope this video encourages you to see why morning glory deserves a place in your landscape. So that will be all for now. And if you want to know more about various naturally growing trees and plants in this region and similar other content, you can check out my playlist Learning from the Wild. And if not, then I have other content as well. So until next time, keep on planting. Take care.